Did you know that 90% of the world's millionaires invest in real estate? Well, I'm Angel with the Academy Presents Real Estate Investing Rocks, and I'm here to help you if you want to go for your piece of that pie.
You said something about like there's never a perfect time. And there really isn't. There really isn't a perfect time to start exercising again. A perfect time to go outside for a walk. A perfect time to do all these things that you want to do. A perfect time to start a summit, Angel. A perfect time to have a have a Facebook Live like this. A perfect time. You get what I'm saying. So if there's something you want to do, then go do it. Like, my husband just finished doing this crazy race, or again, basically against himself, where he ran, for the first day he ran 1 mile, second day he ran 2 miles, fifth day he ran 5. Yesterday he ran 30 miles, and it was raining so hard it was practically hailing, and he ran past this other runner, and they were just basically like, "Beautiful day for a run." But that's the mindset. So you just get out there and you do it. You want to go exercise. I don't suggest running in hail, but if you want to go exercise, just go do it. If you have that thought and your kids are taken care of, just go outside and do it. If it's a beautiful day and you can take your kids outside, just go outside and teach your kids how to do squats. Just get outside and just do it. Make the choice. I think that's my biggest mantra during this time. It's kind of always been my mantra. Just make the choice. Choose to be happy. And choose to make those decisions that are going to make you happy. Like, for instance, Angel, you did your hair, you did your makeup. I need to take some makeup tips because all I do is eyeliner. Because that's all I have the time or the brain power to do. But that makes you happy. So do those things that make you happy and that are going to take you to that level of productivity that you want to be at. Because the reason why I think that you're sad is because you're holding yourself at a level that you see that you want to be at, but you know that you're not at. Whereas where you're at right now could be where your happiness level just needs to be. Maybe you needed to take that time where you're just like, I'm just gonna be in bed. I don't feel like it. But then you can make the choice right now. Of course, you kind of did because you invited us all here. And of course, we're now your accountability partners because we're all going to be calling you and being like, Angel, Angel, are you okay?
You got bed yet?
No.
Where's your task list?
Go there. But that's the thing. You can make the choice. And I'm going to say this because it needs to be said. If anyone out there that's listening to this is at that point where you are so depressed that you are having those really, really, really bad thoughts, you need to speak to a professional. I don't know of any, but I know there are those out there, and I'm sure one of us can go and research this for you if you want. Maybe we can leave a link of some free people that you can talk to. But if you're having those really bad thoughts, you need to call somebody right now. Even we're on Facebook right now, message one of us and we'll find something for you. There's so many people that you can reach out to. There's a world of people, but look for those people who are positive. Look for the positivity. I mean, that's the work that I'm going to ask everyone to do here that's listening. Look for that positivity, because that's what's going to bring you out of that negative space that you might be in.
Yeah, that's really powerful. I think that there's so much stigma attached to needing help that people are afraid to ask for it. I mean, that's one thing I remember about being on your podcast is you're like, can you tell people it's okay to ask for help? Absolutely.
Yes.
Because I asked for help. I wouldn't have reached out to y'all if I wasn't going to ask for help. And this is one of the things I say in my classrooms is I tell my students, I'm like, ask the questions. Because when you ask it, if you have it, so does somebody else. They just don't have the guts to ask it. Mm-hmm. So ask it. So that I knew that by putting this out there, it gives other people who have that same problem some hope. And it lets them know they're not alone too, because there's got to be plenty of people out there that are just floating along. But I will kind of come back and reiterate too. It was thinking about my day the night before has been tremendous for me.
Good.
Because I guess I've kind of done it. Like I'd set my clothes out for the next day.
That's huge.
That was the extent of it.
Wow. I'm used to the night before. I usually plan my day out in at least hourly increments. If I'm pretty organized, it's within 15 minutes or 30-minute increments. I mean, I like plan out breaks and everything, but I enjoy it. And I think some people just don't enjoy it. Like I've always made lists. I've always loved to plan. And I also really love business. And so even my personal stuff has like a mission statement and a vision and all of that. And so I have business plans for each thing. I think that's what you need to do. I think you need to stop and you need to go way back, because it all starts with why, right? Why are you doing this? Like you're sitting there, it's the coronavirus, everything is crazy, and everyone just feels like they're lost in space right now. But you need to start with why, whenever things were normal, why were you doing any of it anyways? And for me, my mission is helping and serving others. And I have a defined, path that I plan on doing that. And I go back to my mission and my vision. And then I have certain goals. You should write down 10-year goals, which are kind of, lofty dreamer goals, but you should have some pretty concrete 5-year, 3-year, 1-year, quarter goals. Break those down into monthly, weekly. I mean, I know it sounds extreme, and if you don't enjoy it, it's probably pretty tedious. I do enjoy it. I love it. I look forward to December 31st every year, just so I can get my financial statements to the penny, at the end of that specific year. But, you got to rock and roll with your personality type too. For me, I do not do well with chaos and insanity and routines getting messed up. I like routines. I like military style routines. And having kids for me really messed with me, because as she knows, routines go out the window. And so I had to force it back into my life somehow. If you have a reason why you're getting out of bed in the morning, and a reason why you're doing everything that you're doing anyways, it makes it easy to stop the world spinning so fast, sit down and be like, what am I doing this for in the first place? Go back to your plan, go back to your plan of action, see what you are and what you're doing. And I'm a big believer in having a plan of action, and work and play is a very delicate thing. You can't do all of either. And I think you should give play as much attention as you give work. When you're working, be working. When you're playing, be playing, and be able to turn it off. The way I do that is I have 2 phones. So I have a personal phone and I have a work phone. And I have more than 10 phone lines, but I'm at least able to somewhat, because our phones are so personal now, I want to be on Facebook with my mom on speakerphone, but I don't want also leads coming in and emails and all that stuff. So because I'm in real estate and I'm full-time real estate, and I always have been for 10 years, there's no off switch in this business. And so I have to make my own off switch, and I have to make my own boundaries and lines. I think also in this right now, everybody was kind of getting into the gym and getting into their schedules, and the coronavirus hit and everything went crazy and haywire with our own diets and exercise. And I think that's really affecting everybody's energy levels. Besides the fact that all you see on the news is some sort of apocalypse. So you just have to ride it out, ride out your natural energy levels. We all know what it's going to take. We all know water, sunlight, walks outside, calls with loved ones, chocolate, good music. We all know what it takes to, manipulate our moods when we need to. You just have to have that willpower to do it,
It's tough. And I kind of, thinking back to something you said, you were saying that it's hard to, set those boundaries, because this is one of those businesses where, it's literally 24/7. It is.
And the to-do list never ends. You're not like, that's it.
It's like you always have to be on. And so I should have done it at the beginning, but just so everybody who is watching or will be watching knows, all of us are in real estate. Let's see, Pili, you have the it's the Multifamily Foundation.
We have Jason and I, my husband and I, are multifamily syndicators and operators. We have about 800 units, and we have our platform is the Jason Pili Project, and under that we have the Multifamily Foundation and Mothers of Multifamily, which you, Angel, and you, Sandhya, are both a part of.
Oh, I want to be a part of that.
Yes, you have to get on the show first, though.
Oh, cool. Okay.
That's the kicker.
Okay.
Yeah. So she'll have to send you the stuff so you can sign up to be on it.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So, and Sandhya, I didn't know that like you were an investor across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
So-
was kind of neat to find out.
Yeah, the stock market took care of me when I had kids. My kids are older, so they're 18 and 12. So I have a senior, and she keeps me on focus because I know in a few months she will leave the nest and go off to college. So every moment with her is precious. That really helps me stay focused. So before she wakes up, because teens wake up pretty late, I try to get all of my business stuff done. And so that if she's awake, I want to catch every one of those moments before she goes off to, her lovely social media world with her friends, etc. But yes, I used to work on, I'm an electrical engineer by profession. And so I had a job with a Fortune 500 company. But once I had my kids, I felt like I was missing out on them. And I also had a business education. So I was in the stock market. And 2 years ago, I got into real estate and focused exclusively on multifamily for the tax savings. And also because it allowed me a balance of work and life without having to self-manage properties, because I felt like single family would be too heavy on that. And I wanted a property management company. So I had to scale up to at least 80 plus units to afford property management. So I've syndicated 2 deals so far with partners, and I have passively invested in like over 15, 16 properties. So in the tune of 3,000 doors total. But it helps me have a balance of work life, which is the big one for me. I don't want to be so consumed by it, just like the corporate world did, that I wouldn't have time for my family, which is a much higher priority for me right now than purely feeling the intellectual satisfaction of an exciting job.
Jacqueline, you were saying you have 2 phones. That's kind of a cool idea. I have a really hard time making lines and boundaries because I'll be on the phone texting people at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. because we got excited about something, and then I won't want to wake up at 7.
It was kind of an accident because I wasn't really planning on it. I'd done it before, and I really loved it when I did it before, but I wasn't really planning on it. But when I went into Verizon, they had some like buy one, get one free thing. And so, and I was paying 10 or 20 bucks a month for Sideline for this other number that I had for years and years. And that number was on all kinds of signs and everything. So I was like, well, I mean, it's like 20 bucks a month for a line. I'm already paying it over here. The phone's free. Easy decision. Cool. My husband and I flip houses full time. He's sitting behind me, if you can see. And we've got some rentals. I've been in real estate for around 10 years, and I always, maybe more. I mean, I'm 33, and I knew I wanted to become a real estate investor when I was 15. And I basically just geared my whole life that way. So the last 3-4 years while we had the babies, we got started flipping houses, buying rentals. He quit his job as an engineer in oil and gas to flip houses full time with me last year. We've got 6 rentals, and I didn't learn about multifamily until about a year ago. And when I learned about, it just seemed like this, majestic, untouchable creature. And I remember driving by just being like, I can't wait. Someday I'm going to own those. And then when I learned about syndication, I mean, I have been educating myself on multifamily hardcore for a year. So I'm actually trying to sell off some of our smaller rentals. There's like 3 houses I want to keep. Everything else I want to sell, and I'm going like full steam into multifamily, but still flipping houses for our job.
Yeah, but even getting into small multifamily, like we've got 3 single families, and we will never buy another single family home unless it absolutely falls in our laps, because we have managers for them, but you pay 10% of the rent in management fees if you don't want to touch
my own, which is even worse, actually.
Well, my family self-managed, and I was like, I will never self-manage ever, because I watched my grandparents it was so hard.
I've been a property manager multiple times over. My mom has a portfolio of about 40 houses. And so My plan was always to get going on my own portfolio and then hire somebody to be an assistant, coach them into property management, grow my portfolio as I grow that person, and have in-house property management. But it's a lot of trial and error in this industry. I hired a gal, she didn't work out, back to square one.
Yeah, well, and you and Pili, I think, have something in common because y'all are both, you started out as realtors, right?
I still have my license.
Okay.
Yeah,
Actually,
I'll always be licensed, I'm sure.
I see no reason to let it go. I actually just had a closing. I actually told, these are good friends of mine, and I told them, I gave them like 3 names of like top notch. I mean, like top of the line, billion-dollar agents. And they're like, no, we want to use you. I'm like, you realize that I do large multifamily. I have my real estate license just to keep my eye on the New Jersey market. And I ended up selling their house during this COVID time, over asking, and like within 12 days. I was like, wow, I can still do it.
Yeah. So I don't
I have my real estate license, and it's for the realtors out there. I mean, like you said, Jackie, it doesn't stop unless you want it. If you're gonna really do it, and I talked to one of those billion-dollar agents last night on my podcast. If you're gonna really do it, you gotta get up, you gotta have a schedule, you have to have systems. If you really, and I shouldn't be doing this, but I actually implore everybody that's watching this, if you really want to get ahead, if you want to be one of those people that really got ahead in 2008, 2009, because they were watching and they were looking and they were listening for those opportunities that are going to come to only those people. I mean, there's going to be a few that's going to slap them in the face, sure. But most of us are going to have our hands on the pulse of everything, so we know what buttons to push when the opportunities start landing, and they're going to start if they haven't already. You have to keep your eyes open, and you have to keep positive, and you have to stay out there. And like Jackie said, it's 24/7. You have to keep your eyes open all the time if you want to be one of those people that charges ahead of all the rest.
That's a good point, actually, about the 24/7. I think a lot of people plan out like priorities or a few hours in their day, but you have 24 hours in your day, and you should actually plan all of them. That way you're planning with you getting enough sleep, you know, whatever things you need to do between, you know, any house stuff, anything between sleep and your job. It gives me peace to plan out, because whenever I feel lost, then I can just be like, okay, put on my Beats headphones. Okay, I can't hear the screaming. What am I doing? Refocus. This is what I'm doing. Got to reply to the email. I mean, there's times it might take me 6 hours to send an email, because I'll sit down, I'll type out screaming, you know, type out a little more, get them situated. Somebody broke their nose on the coffee table, type out a little more. But you know, it's true. You just power through it.
Well, and that's what my health and fitness team has said the exact same things. They're like, sleep is so important. Like, you're not getting enough sleep. And there's so many busy like entrepreneurs and professionals that think that it's okay to get by on 4 hours of sleep. And so our bodies start to program to sort of operate on that lack of sleep. And then you build up your cortisol levels, and you can't lose weight, and your hormone levels are all over the place. That's where I'm sitting. And I was to a point where I thought 4 or 5 hours of sleep, that's awesome. That's all I need. And so the biggest thing for me, especially during all of this, has been, Angel, freaking go to sleep. Like last night I couldn't sleep. So I went out to the living room, and I wake up at like 3 a.m, and I'm sitting in front of the Food Network, and I'm like, what am I doing? I mean, I had fallen asleep at some point, but I wake up at 3:30. It was 3:17. I looked at the clock. I'm like, what am I doing? I am setting myself up for failure. And so I think another just big takeaway from all this is, make sure you're setting yourself up for success. And I'm discovering that really is about planning your day before it happens. And I think
I lay out all of my like running clothes, everything that I'm going to need to wake up, get dressed in the dark, and go for a run. Because waking up to go for a run in the dark sucks anyways. But to have to do all that and try to find all your clothes while everybody's sleeping, like, I promise, it is all about setting yourself up for success so you can thank your past self.
Yep. I actually usually go to sleep in my running clothes
Nice.
or my workout clothes. You know,
Nice.
sans sports bra, because that would just be uncomfortable. No, I mean, that's, like you said, that's the way you have to set yourself up for success. And I'm gonna, you know, I suffer from insomnia every so often, and especially with everything that was happening, I was just like, why am I feeling so anxious? Why this anxiety all the time? Because really, I mean, besides the homeschooling and kind of the fear that my kids might get sick, but we've been pretty good about, like really good about like staying in quarantine, because my middle child has asthma. So we've been really, really, really good. I really haven't left the house in 2 months. Like, I can't. So my running and getting out into the world and all that is a must for me. I have to get out and get out by myself at least once a day. I have to, even if it's just for a walk. If it's for a run, even better. But if you are going to have insomnia and you are going to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and if you can't get yourself back to sleep, I implore you, try and get back to sleep. But if you can't, don't turn on the TV. Don't watch Food Network. Make content. Take that time and make content, even if you don't want to, even if it's just you, like, even if you go on live. Next time you get up, okay, Angel, this is what you're going to do. Next time you get up, I don't care how you look. I don't care if you have rollers in your hair. I don't care if your hair is like this and you have bed head. Get up, get to a lidded, like I know you have one of those lights. Put your light on, get your phone, put it in front of your face, turn on live and be like, I can't sleep. And see what happens. See what comes out of your mouth. Like, you need to be making content all the time. And what a perfect time to be like, I can't sleep. Who else is up? Somebody talk to me. I can't sleep. I have this idea in my head. What if we did this? How about this thing? How about, this is the thought I'm having about COVID. This is like, use the time productively. I mean, I'm going to take my own advice, and next time I can't sleep, I'm just going to turn on my phone and go live. I normally make pieces of content that aren't so like my hair's all over the place, but you know, that's just, maybe that'll give you the
impetus to go back to sleep.
Yeah. You're like, oh, Pili said I have to go live if I don't go to sleep. Maybe I'll just go back to sleep.
Well, I was trying like meditation, because that was another trick that my health coaches give me was, you know, try some meditation, try some breathing, try something to help you focus back in on the fact that you need to go to sleep. And so that was one of the things I was trying, and it worked for a little bit. And then I don't know if I lost focus on it or if it lost its glamour. I don't know, but it's
a choice you have to make though.
You just need to be worn out. And that's it. Wake up super early and go work out. I mean, if you can't sleep the night before, you should punish yourself the next day by, you know, forget your insomnia. You're up at 3. Good. Now you're up at 3. Stay up. Go for a run. Work out. The next night, you might not have so much trouble.